All right, so the first thing you want to do once you get here is, if the waterfall is off, we're gonna go, and there's a drain on the waterfall that has to be cleared. It gets filled with leaves and then it overflows into this section of the yard. So I'll go do that, and I'll also show how to turn off the waterfall in a bit. Now, to control everything, since they decide to you know, they program their own winter schedule to save electricity. I don't know why. It's not helping anything. It's not helping their pool. It's not helping their electric bill that much. Okay, I'm rambling, but I put this in timeout. Timeout will basically set a 3-hour timer. I'll turn on filter pump. I'll turn on aux 7. Yeah, so that's aux 7 is a spa pump. So first and last, and then the W. That's the water, the negative edge pump. You can see it's a W. I wrote that when I installed it. So now those are going to run for 3 hours. But this is where you would usually come to turn it off, so that you can empty the or remove the leaves from the drain in the waterfall. So this is the drain we're talking about. I'm gonna clear it out. I always put my net right here, so I can just scoop those leaves with my hand and put them right in. So as you can see, now the drain is clear. This is a very crucial step, because otherwise it overflows out of this trough and heads off into the yard. There have been a few weeks throughout the year where the shedding of this bush and whatnot is too much, and even if you clear it, sometimes when you get here the following week, it'll be overflowing. The obvious next step is just skim out this trough. Now, usually when I get here, all the equipment is on. I don't know why it's not. I think they change the schedule inside on their own, but I rarely ever empty this. Barely anything ever gets in this. This is the main pump for the pool. I'm gonna empty it today because it's been about maybe a month since I've opened it. This one I never opened. This is the pump for the spa. It just never has anything in it. And this one's for the spillover on the negative edge. So this is the one that actually gets turned off when you turn off that waterfall. And I empty this probably once every 2 weeks. I'm gonna empty it today. It's got stuff in there. Okay, to empty the pool pump, what you gotta do is you gotta lift this handle up. Just, you know, it comes off, but put like a couple millimeters on it and rotate it this way. Because we got to get the handle over the blockers here, so you have to lift it up till it's barely on the edge of the stem, and we got to rotate this one here. Otherwise, if you open that pump, the whole pool is just gonna, you know, come out of there, and it's a lot of force, you know, because there's literally tens of thousands of gallons above this pump, so it'd be hard to shut if we didn't close those valves. So this is what you can expect for the basket for this pump, the main pool filter pump. This is what it looks like after a month. So barely anything goes in there. And then don't forget to set these valves back, otherwise you will cause problems. Now for the water feature pump, or the negative edge pump, again, you gotta lift the handle over the blockers, close it off like this. And then we open this There's a check valve right here. If there wasn't that there, then you would have to worry about, again, thousands of gallons of water and gravity working against you. You can see the pump is not overflowing. And again, okay, I emptied it, so now I'm gonna put this back. You don't want to forget about this, or else you're gonna break things. All right, so there we go. For Anderson, Tracy Anderson, if you want to clean the spa filter, this actuator has to be taken off, and well, I'll show you which way the valve needs to be turned. I already have the valves off there. And here. That would be fine for just cleaning this filter, but this needs to be, I'll record it after I do it. That needs to be closed. This needs to be closed to clean this filter. It has a check valve, that's fine. That's stopping the water from coming from the pool. Anyway. Okay, so I took the actuator off. It's only 4 screws, but you can see gravity is doing its thing, pushing the water down since we're below the water line. What you got to do, take this handle off of that valve, put it onto this one, lift it, close that pipe off like that. And now the water stopped. Alright, so for Augenstein, the main thing you're going to want to make sure is that that vacuum is moving. You'll have to reprogram the pump. I mean, I've done it maybe 2 or 3 times since we've gotten this pool, just to adjust the RPMs and make sure that that's moving at a good speed, which that's perfect. That's not too fast, not too slow. But too slow is better than too fast. Obviously, skim out the trough here, and this is probably the hardest part because you stand on this little wall and you could easily fall off. I've never fallen off, but I've come close. And if you ever want extra balance, you can kind of put like the middle part of your left foot on the edge right here. It's not going to get wet. So the vacuum is plugged directly into the skimmer, and sometimes debris collects in here, so I'll literally, you know, take a glove off and push it out so that I can skim it with my net. Alright, so I'm standing on the trough. One thing to keep in mind is that these drains are the drains for well, the negative edge pump. They need to be clear of leaves, so I literally take the skimmer net and, you know, just try to clear it as best I can. Alright, here's the most important part of Augenstein's pool. Probably the most complicated one that we got. First thing you want to do, put this into timeout. We're not going to leave it on timeout, but that turns everything off. I'm going to empty this basket first. Okay, so I just emptied that basket. By the way, both of these baskets need to be emptied every week. These two. This one never needs to be emptied because it's connected to this. So first thing you want to do after emptying this is turn that valve so that we don't lose prime on that pipe. This is the negative edge, and I will try and set my phone up so you can see how I do this. Alright, that's the best I can do, but I'm going to open this. Gosh dang it. I'm going to open it and pull the basket out and close it as fast as I can while I still have the basket, because we need no water to move. If we let a bunch of air in the system, it'll lose its prime. Okay, so I pulled it out and then I shut it. And I usually empty it over here on this rock. I opened it, put the basket in and closed it as fast as I could. Now we're gonna go over here and we're gonna put this back into auto, and both pumps will turn on because they're programmed to run 24/7, which is good. Now turned on. I'm gonna open this just a little bit. Now you're gonna look through here. It's gonna be hard to see on the camera, but you're gonna open it and then you're gonna close it. But you're gonna see water coming out. We're creating a vacuum right now that's gonna pull it through. I'm gonna open it again just a little bit, and I can see water inside there. Okay, not anymore. So I'm gonna close it again. Okay, I'm gonna open it just a little bit. We're gonna get that water flowing. It's gonna stop again, start again. Okay, there we go. So now at this point, I'm gonna just slowly open it more and more. You know? And what we don't want the water to stop. If it stops, we close the valve again. So it looks like we're good. I'm just gonna open it wide open. And yeah, once it starts flowing like that, you know you're good. But it's a gradual process of closing and opening it to get it started. Now this one, like I said, you have to reprogram it every so often to make sure the vacuum's moving, or at least I've had to. You'll probably be good for now. But relieve the air, and that's Augenstein's pool.